Good morning. Hope everybody is doing well. So, you see in the title, it says, You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. I've been saying this for 4 or 5 years, or maybe more. Um, and this morning, I saw a post. This is why what I'm about to share with you is so important because the mind has a way of making you think that you believe one thing when you actually believe something else. Say hello in the comments. How's everybody doing this morning? You don't get what you want. You get what you believe. And most people think they believe something completely different from what they actually believe. So I saw a post this morning, and this is what the post said. Do me a favor, guys, share this out as you come on as well. It said, It's okay to struggle. It's not okay to give up. Now, I'm not going to repeat that too many times. But when I saw it, I said, This person has no idea what they believe. And wouldn't you know, there were tons of people who clicked hearts and likes in affirmation who were in agreement to that particular statement. And so some of you may feel that nothing is wrong with that, right? But if you realize what this person wrote was, it's okay to struggle. Now, when I wrote this on the paper to have in my notes, I wrote, It's okay to struggle. It's not okay to give up. And then I put, It's a lie, because it's really important to me what I'm affirming, what I'm writing down, and what I'm hearing, right? I don't need anything to shift my energy. For one, I don't believe it's okay to struggle, right? But if you were in agreement, because it sounds like something a lot of people say, it's okay to struggle as long as you don't give up. This means that this person believes it's okay to struggle. I don't believe it's okay to struggle. But when you have that belief and that mindset, what will happen, what is happening for you in your entrepreneurial journey, in your life, you are struggling, you just aren't giving up because you believe that it's okay to struggle. I don't believe that it's okay to struggle. And when I began to experience struggle in my life, because that was not my belief, I immediately went to find ways to not struggle. Like I said, this ain't normal. Like this doesn't feel regular to me. Um, just my journey alone has me always thinking about my past. And so I did not experience a lot of struggle for many years. And when I did, I said, hey, some, something ain't right because it's not my belief. It's not my belief that it's okay to struggle. So what was happening is um, many of you have been programmed to be disempowered, programmed to be disempowered, and you don't even know it, right? Because there are, all these memes and things that you agree on and that you affirm for your life, and that is how you will live out your life. Because you do not get what you want, you get what you believe. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. And I recognize that this person who wrote, It's okay to struggle, it's not okay to give up. Although they felt like that was a very positive statement, I knew they believed that it was okay to struggle. You're going to have to shift your mind and say, No, it's not okay to struggle. There's nothing about that statement that feels right to me. Listen, I don't believe it's okay to struggle, so I don't do things that are going to lead me to struggle or that feel like struggle. My body immediately feels the resistance and shifts my mind and my energy and my thoughts in another direction. But if you believe that statement that I told you I saw on social, it said, It's okay to struggle as long as you don't give up. It sounds like a very positive statement, but what you're saying is that you believe it's okay to struggle. I'm not going to say that too many times. I don't believe it's okay to struggle. And what that is a person who's operating their life off of a limiting belief. So a limiting belief is an unconscious thought, right? That creates like this defense mechanism from what you think may bring possible negative emotions, right? So maybe it's something new that you've been wanting to do, or something that you've been wanting to participate in. Your limiting belief will create this defense mechanism. Is this making sense? I see you guys tapping the screen. Your belief, what you really believe, will create this defense mechanism that is supposedly keeping you from negative emotions you might feel that will happen to you if you do this new thing. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a certified life and business coach. I love everything about the mind and thinking and all the things, right? I teach abundance mindset, personal growth, and business building. And one of the things I understood for a long time now that has been such a blessing in how I help my clients, how I help them shift from, limiting thoughts that they don't even know they have, right? Is the fact that I understand, that our brain was created to protect us. You guys stay with me, right? Our brain was created to protect us. So if you've been doing something or experiencing something for a really long time, and then you go to do something different, even if it's something positive, even if it's something that's going to get you out the mud, right? Even if it's something that's going to change the trajectory of your life, your business, your relationships, and your money, if you have consistently been doing it another way, your brain will register that new thing as danger, because your brain was created to keep you from danger. And it doesn't know the difference in something that's going to be amazing for you, something that's going to bring on new possibility, expansion, all the things. The brain doesn't know the difference. What the brain does know is what you have consistently been hearing, saying, experiencing, and doing, right? Like I said with the young lady that posted, it's okay to struggle as long as you don't give up. I immediately said she believes it's okay to struggle. Listen, many of you probably have clicked like on a similar post, probably have felt the same way, and it is why you will continue to struggle. I don't believe it's okay to struggle. So I'm not doing things that feel like struggle. No, I'm not doing it. Doesn't mean that I don't do things that are challenging, but I'm not doing things that feel like struggle. I hope this is making sense to you all. Here are some as I said before, your brain is created to keep you out of danger. That's beautiful. If you see a lion or a bear in your backyard, your brain is going to register that that is not safe. But oftentimes, when people are wanting to manifest something different, when they're wanting to change their life, create new income streams, new revenue, healthier relationships, because that's not what they previously experienced, the new opportunity that's being presented to them to do that will feel like danger. The brain will start like creating these words or thoughts that become a defense, because if the person thinks that this new opportunity or this new way of doing it is going to cause them to lack or struggle, or they're not going to be able to do it, the brain registers that new great amazing opportunity as danger. And this is where you have to be aware of your thinking. This is where you have to step outside of what your subconscious mind is saying in order to do something different, in order to manifest something on a larger, greater scale. Someone put me in the comments if this is registering for you this morning. Put me in the comments if this is registering for you this morning. Say hello. Let me know you're on. Let me know where you're located, how you rock out in the world, how people get to experience your gifts. We're talking about the fact that you don't get what you want. You get what you believe, and a lot of what you want is what is coming from your conscious mind, not your subconscious mind. In a few minutes, I'm gonna break that down a little bit more, because I'm normally talking about the subconscious mind so much. Hey Tanisha, how are you, darling? I'm normally talking about the subconscious mind so much because that's really the space where you operate from. Oklahoma in the building. And so that's normally the space that you actually live out your life from. So I normally talk about that more. But I'm also going to talk about the conscious mind so that you'll have a reality of why what you're wanting to manifest isn't manifest. So remember, I said most of us have been disempowered through traditional beliefs and thoughts and things that the world has given us, things that we've learned from the womb to maybe 7 years old, begin to create the foundational beliefs that we have. And many people are operating their life disempowered, right, from those limiting beliefs. So here's one limiting belief that many people have: money is a limited resource. Money is a limited resource. And most people live their life as if money is a limited resource. It's the reason why, when they see an opportunity that may allow them to create more revenue and to do it with greater ease, they'll run from it. They'll say, oh, that's not for me. Because in their mind, they don't believe that money is an unlimited resource. They believe that money is a limited resource. Guys, during the time of a recession, do you know that money doesn't leave the earth? Money doesn't leave the earth. Do you think it just like falls off? It doesn't. Money only exchanges hands, right? And what happens during a recession, people have to become the person that others are wanting to exchange money with. They have to create something valuable enough for the people who do have money to exchange, the service, the product, um, that they're offering with the monetary thing. So the number one limiting belief that holds many people back in so many ways is the belief that money is a limited resource. It's not. It's not. It's in abundance. And when you shift your mind and understand that, you will move into opportunities that will bring abundance into your life and increase. I believe that's from YouTube. Good morning. How are you over there? Another one, your fears are warnings. And I kind of talked about this before when I talked about the fact that the brain was designed to keep you from danger. So most people think if they see something and they begin to get afraid, that's a warning. But it's a warning based on what they believe. Um, if there's a program like the She Prospers Mastermind that you see, and if fear starts to set in because maybe you haven't had coaching before, or you haven't experienced anything that's really allowed you to shift your thinking about your money and to bring new things in, your brain will register that as danger and you will fear the opportunity to actually grow. Does that make sense? So most people think that their fears are warnings. Now we do know there's some things that you need to be afraid of. It's a bear at your front door, you might not need to open the front door. Those are things that you should fear. But many of the things that people, when they have fear to arise, they feel it's unsafe. And most of the time, it's a clue of something they need to be doing next, right? It's something that's challenging what's going on in their subconscious mind. Another belief, and this is personal for me. So, studies show that children begin to read around the age of 6 or 7. And some children read as early as 4 or 5, right? And what happens with that particular belief, most people wait until their children are school ready or school age to begin teaching them to read. Now, because I didn't believe that, when I was pregnant, carrying my child in my womb, I read to her. When she came out of the womb, we read. I bought a program called My Baby Can Read. If I did not believe that it was possible for my child to read before she was 6 or 7 or even 4 or 5, I wouldn't have taken those actions. My daughter started reading at the age of 3, right? She was standing in front of an audience at 4 and 5 with things that she had memorized, like 700 people in the audience at our church, quoting scriptures, right? And so, because I did not believe that limiting belief that children began reading, and it is statistical, but many of you are living your life off of statistics and not from the God realm. I'll say no more. But because I did not believe that, I took different actions. Remember, you don't get what you want, you get what you believe. And if you do not believe it's possible, you will not do what's necessary to make it happen. You won't get the information to make it happen because you don't believe it. I hope this is making sense. So many people believe that children don't read until they're 6 or 7 years old. And so they wait until they go to school and let the teachers do it. It is also the reason why I remember my daughter was in daycare and she had started reading. And I asked the daycare teacher or owner, could they work with her throughout the day on reading so that she could maintain the practice we had done at home and continue to get better. Now, I was shocked. This was something I was shocked to learn that they weren't able to begin teaching reading at that age. It was state guideline for that particular daycare. And she went to that daycare because it was someone I knew. And when your kids are real young, you want to send them somewhere where it's someone you know, right? You feel more comfortable as a mom. But when I realized that they couldn't continue, that they were limited in what they could teach the children according to state guidelines, I took my baby out of daycare. The first thing I did was I said, okay, there has to be, this is because of my belief, right? I said, there has to be a facility that will continue the practices of her reading somewhere. And this is how my daughter ended up in private school because they had a K-4 program. It was a Christian private school. They had a K-4 program where they continued to help the children read, right? But if I didn't believe that, if I accepted the limiting belief that was passed on by the state to that particular daycare, my daughter probably would have lost some of her fluency in reading at the age of 3, because you don't get what you want, you get what you believe. Because I believe that there has to be someone else who believes the way that I believe. There has to be a facility in my area who believes that and is able to continue in this practice. I searched for it, right? And see, what you're desiring, what you're wanting to manifest, it has to align in your words, hey Takima baby, your thoughts and your actions. Scripture says your word, thought, and deed. But I'm going to let you know your deed is your actions, right? But you don't get what you want in life. You get what you believe. Okay, next, limiting belief that people have sometimes. Oh, and this also ties into me sending my daughter to private school. So a lot of times when it's time for children to leave daycare, people are so happy. They're like, I don't have to pay those daycare fees anymore. And they also have the mindset that they can't afford private school, right? But what I did, I never thought about money when I put my daughter in private school as in it being limited. What I said was, oh, come to find out, private school is almost the same price as what I was paying for daycare. So in my mind, I just said, I never stopped paying for daycare. So many people are saying they cannot afford things that they actually can't afford because of their belief. If they were able to afford to put their children in daycare because no one could keep the children and they had to go to work or whatever the case may be, most of them didn't bother to do the research on what a school that offered better education, smaller classrooms, all the things. Most of them didn't bother to even do the research because in their mind, they believed that they couldn't afford to put their children in a school that cost, right? Because they thought the cost was above what they could afford. You don't get what you want in life, you get what you believe. If you could have afforded daycare, so your kids have somewhere to stay in the day, you could afford to put your children in, better schooling, smaller classrooms, something more ideal for your desires. And this is, I'm not knocking public school or anything of that nature, but it was several things that was important to me at that time. And because they were my values and my standards, and I believe that I create my own reality. Y'all don't hear me. I create my own reality. And because of my belief, I knew there was something available and I knew I could afford it. Most people never, they'll see things like the versus Mastermind, and immediately think they can't afford it and never even click on it because of their belief. Because of their belief. You don't get what you want in life, you get what you believe. Another limiting belief: it's selfish to desire a lot of money. It's selfish to desire a lot of money. And when people have this mindset, what happens is they never do things that will create more money in their life. It's this deserving and value and worth thing that's going on. So, what is selfish about desiring a lot of money? If you are an entrepreneur, one of the things you understand is if people are buying your products and services, if you're a coach, consultant, if they're buying your products and services, you are exchanging something of value with them, right? So, where is it selfish to desire a lot of money? You're giving a lot, you're doing a lot in the world, you're changing lives in the world. Where is the selfishness at? Listen, that's a limiting belief that keeps people saying things like, oh, I'm good as long as we got food, shelter, water, the limiting beliefs that have been passed on, those colloquial statements that we've heard from child age or people who have been in our circumference. And most of those people were saying those things because they had an experience different, because of limiting beliefs that they were having. They may have believed what the other young lady believed, right? It's okay to struggle as long as you don't give up. See, the first thing is that she believes it's okay to struggle. Many of you believe that. Many of you believe that. You believe it's okay to struggle in your finances. You believe it's okay to struggle in your relationships. You believe it's okay to struggle in your health. And because you believe that, the actions that you take and the actions you won't take will continue to give you struggle results. And you'll say, at least I didn't give up. It ain't okay to struggle. I just don't believe it's okay to struggle. I don't. So I don't do things that feel like struggle. I'm not doing things that feel like struggle. I'm not. I didn't say I won't be challenged, but I'm not doing struggle life or struggle love because that's not my belief. It's not my belief. One, when I read scripture, the thing that God said he wishes above all things, that has always floored me, right? Because it's a lot of stuff going on in the Bible. But the thing that he said he wishes above all things is that we prosper and be in health. Don't sound like God is okay with us struggling to me. He said he wishes above all things that we prosper and be in health. When I heard the creator of the world, the universe, whatever you want to call it, God that created it all, when I saw that above everything, right? Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health. I was like, okay, that's it right there. It's not selfish to desire a lot of money. Many of you who say, that you want more money in your life, you want to do great things with the money. You want to help people in the community, and also it's okay to want you and your family to live an amazingly blessed life. It's a limiting belief. It's false humility that's been created. We've been disempowered, right, in our beliefs. Another thought, limiting belief that people have is, I work better under pressure. Now, how many of y'all have been saying that? I work better under pressure. How do you know? How do you know if you never go ahead and get it done? How do you know that you work better under pressure if you always wait until the last minute or wait until the opportunity is gone? How do you know that you work better under pressure if you haven't tried doing it another way? And most of what's going on with what you're manifesting in your life, in your business, is so internal, right? You want flow, ease, all of that in your life, but waiting till the last minute and working under pressure is not flow. It's not flow. I've heard many people say, I work better under pressure. It's an excuse. It's an excuse not to make a decision. It's an excuse not to choose. Oftentimes, their life is overwhelmed and consumed with things that don't align with what's really going to take them to their next level. So they have no choice but to do it at the last minute. There's no ease, grace, and flow in their life. People say I work better under pressure. I like to get it done. I like to get it done. I like money to come to me like that. So I move and have my being in that way. Does that make sense? If it's something that I know is going to benefit, I don't sit on it, right? Because one, I know that I am provided for. Money comes to me in abundance, flow, ease, grace. Everything that I need is provided for me. When you can get in that space of belief, you will begin to do things that are outside of your norm that will help you to manifest things differently in your life. So, here's another thing, because this goes into some of like what we're saying. So, I've watched people speak over their children's lives. So maybe they would have 2 to 3 children, and this one child, they would speak so highly. You know, this child is going to be the millionaire or whatever. And then this child, everything they say about this child is somewhat negative. They don't realize it, right? They're actually speaking what they feel they see is coming out of the child. But much of what they see is why the child is operating that way. Remember, I said from the womb to age of 7, we are creating beliefs for our children, right? And if they've been hearing you say this all the time, I've seen it happen. This child will be like super successful, but what if they took those same words and began speaking them over their children? But they got to believe it. They got to believe it, right? So I said I would talk about the conscious mind a little more on this morning, because I'm normally talking about the subconscious mind, which is, your subconscious mind is like a record player. It's soaking up everything that you're hearing on a repeated basis, your experiences, things that you've seen, heard, or done, or experienced over and over again. It becomes a thought that's in your subconscious mind. Some people have seen struggle over and over again, so they believe struggle is normal as long as they keep going. Just an example. So your subconscious mind is more habitual. Your conscious mind is your creative mind. So what will happen? Your conscious mind is, here's an example. So you have notes that you're studying for a test. You study the notes, you take the test, and you do really well on the test. But next week you can't remember anything, right? So the conscious mind is that mind that will allow you to retain the information long enough. It will soak it in long enough for you to do something immediately, but it won't necessarily soak in. So it doesn't become a habit. It doesn't become a part of your being other than who you are being in that moment, right? It's why people can, well, maybe I was going to use being a believer as an example, but maybe that's not a real good example, because, sometimes we say we are believers, but our life hasn't changed, right? So the conscious mind is saying that we are believers, but habitually the things that we're doing and the direction that we're heading in has not been formed and created in our subconscious mind. So what's happening, our soul, which is our mind, our will, and our emotion, is trying to align with the Spirit of God, which is perfect, right? So hope that helps as well. So it can also be where you hear something online, maybe like a broadcast like this, and you say, oh, I already know that, but it's not showing up in your life. That's because your conscious mind knows that, but your subconscious mind doesn't, right? This is why many people miss it, because they use the phrase, I already know that. They see memes they've seen before online. They come on live trainings like this online, and in their mind they say, oh, I already know that, or I've heard her say that before, but it's not actualized in your life. It's not in your subconscious mind. It's not your reality. It's not what you're manifesting. So in your conscious mind, you may know it, but not in your subconscious mind, right? So when I was doing Pilates, I'm gonna give you guys an example. When I was doing Pilates this morning, I thought to myself, this feels so good. This feels so good. Now, many people who don't exercise but desire to don't exercise because the thought that they have about it is that it's painful and it doesn't feel good, right? Um, they think that working out is painful. Now, the oxymoron of all of that is the real pain is in the suffering they have from not getting healthy. But remember, I said the brain is designed so that it keeps you from danger. So those who may be struggling to work out because they feel that working out is painful or hard, if they go to do something different without having a shift in their mindset, the brain will say that other thing is hard. When in actuality, guys, when you work out, it feels amazing. You get a new type of energy. It's like all your cells are lining up. There's just like this flow that's actually going on. So people will stay in what's painful, saying that what's going to get them out of the pain is hard because they've done it for so long that the brain registers the struggle, the uncomfortableness, the lack of finances and money. The brain registers that as normal because it's been seen over and over again subconsciously in the subconscious mind. Is what the brain remembers. So when there's an opportunity to do it differently, the brain says, hey, don't go over there. That's going to be hard. And you have to be so aware of your thoughts that you know the difference, right? um, the brain will assist you in creating more pain because that's what it's accustomed to, in creating more unhealthy habits, in creating struggle in the finances. The brain will assist you in doing that because that's what it's constantly seeing all the time. And they register this new opportunity to do life differently as danger. I hope this is making sense. So, I wanted to share with you all that you don't get what you want, you get what you believe. And I want you to check your belief. So, I'm going to be teaching you how to master your mind, right? Uncover your thoughts and create new ones and manifest your best year yet. Inside the She Prospers 30-day mastermind, there's a small window of time left for you to join us, right? Manifest your best year yet. Mastering your mind is huge. It's huge. And many of you are operating with limiting beliefs you are unaware of. I'll be helping you to uncover those limiting beliefs, master your mind, shift them so you can manifest your best year yet. RenewFullCircle.com/she prospers. RenewFullCircle.com/she prospers. Are you coming with us? Are you coming with us this year? Are you manifesting your best year yet? Or is that just something you've been saying in your conscious mind? Remember, your conscious mind is that creative mind, and it will say all the things, but your subconscious mind is the place from which you do all the things. And I'll be helping you to master your mind and shift what's going on in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind. That's my take on this morning. You guys be blessed. You don't get what you want in life, you get what you believe. Check your beliefs.